My name is Teri Fortino, and I'm the founding member of the Fortino Real Estate Group here at Compass. And today I'm going to share some really funny stories that have happened to me over the years, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so over the years, more than 30 years now, I've had some really dramatic moments in real estate, also some stressful moments, but also very embarrassing moments. Let me tell you a little bit about the most embarrassing moment I've had in real estate. So just some background information. I had a new house, put it on tour. And so on tour, there's about 60 agents that will come and view new listings. So I decide that today was the day that I was going to go live with my assistant taping for the first time ever. And so unfortunately, it was one of those days where a blooper happened. So not only did I fall on tape and live, but also I had 60 realtors driving into my property that I was showing at the time that this happened. So you can only imagine how horrendous that was. Now, the only thing I guess that resonated with me was that this happens to a lot of people, but it had massive captivity, and unfortunately, it was the most embarrassing time ever in my real estate career. So, funny true story. About 10 years ago, I was contacted by a gentleman who indicated that he had some property that he wanted to sell, and there happened to be a church that was located on atop the property. So asked that I come out, and I actually brought one of my colleagues, Cheryl, with me to view the property, do an analysis, because he was interested in selling the building and also the land beneath it. So we pull up to this church that is on 2 or 3 acres and walk into the church, and it really looks like a, for lack of a better term, a Rastafarian church. And so I meet with the gentleman that called me, very gregarious, and he definitely in the morning had, smoked a little bit of the juice that would be customary with the Rastafarian church, and then proceeded to say that if we needed to further the conversation, we'd have to go and attend the service and also pray. So we're like, okay, tongue in cheek, we decide, okay, we're gonna do this because, well, not only was it a learning experience, but it sounded like fun, kind of interesting, right? So we go, and about 10 or 11 people are in the service, and pretty soon the drums came out and they started speaking in tongues, and it was quite an adventurous experience, to say the least. In the end, we left with not a listing, but we did leave with wonderful stories, feeling a little good that day, and also with the knowledge that there are all different types of religions, for sure. So another funny story, had a great listing and got along so well with mom and dad, and they happen to have 4 teenage boys. So of course it's preparation time. We're getting ready for that first weekend open house, which is pivotal and most important. And the owners indicated to me that they were going away for the weekend to Cabo, and that, the boys would be home, and that they understand that there's an open house and they're leaving. So that was really great. and I had the contact information for the eldest. And so I just had a feeling though. So I went into the home 2 hours or 3 hours prior to the open house to absolute mayhem. So this house, quite large, it's about 4,000 square feet. There were literally 15 to 18 teenagers sprawled throughout the house. There was probably 120, 130 beer bottles, alcohol everywhere. It was as if they partied like rock stars the night before. So I'm going in and I am going into full charge mode, kicking kids out of the house, telling them the importance of getting us ready for this open house, and everyone was dragging. Everyone had partied until 6 o'clock in the morning. It was really, really, really crazy. And I was thinking back to my youth, of course, but we accomplished our goal and it sold at the open house that weekend. So there were a whole number of kids there. There were the boys and all of their friends and girlfriends, which was great because I talked them into helping me get the house ready to go. Now, we are talking about, toilets that had vomit and also just this crazy amount of food strewn through the kitchens. And so the great thing was that they were compelled to helping me because I threatened that I was going to tell their parents. And so I had this battalion of young teenagers helping me get the house ready to go. Thank goodness, making beds, cleaning kitchens, cleaning toilets, and we were successful in 2 hours. So I listed 9 acres in the country, and my sellers, they were the most lovely people. They were so great and gracious to work with. I love it when that happens. But they had a mini farm. So they had 4 goats, 2 llamas. They had a monster chicken coop that was awesome. And they had this fence that was all around the chicken coop. And it was the Cadillac of chicken coops. So they also had a couple of horses. It was a working farm. And so they let me know that they were going to leave for the weekend, and could I be so kind as to feed the animals? And so I thought, this is great, and it's always wonderful when sellers leave the house, right? So they were gone during that weekend, and I went and I got the goats out of the pen, put them, and they all had really cute names and everything else, and fed them and got the horses hay, and all the other animals were all taken care of. And then they said, please release the chickens because people will like to see chickens roaming around during the day, during the open house, and then just make sure that they are put back into their home at the end of the evening. So I have a wonderful open house. I think we have over 30 groups come through the home. And at the end of the day, I walk out, and originally there are 9 chickens, and I can only find 7. And so I call Craig, my husband, and I say, hey, look, holy cow, I've lost 2 chickens in one day. And he's like, oh my gosh, well, maybe they'll come back. They're not going to come back. I have no idea where these chickens went. I'm thinking, gosh, did someone steal chickens? What's going on? So I put them back in their little house, and then I think, well, I'm trying to think positive. They're going to come home, right? So the next day, open house again, release the 7 chickens that are left, and by the end of the day, there's only 4. So I I'm really, really, really nervous and scared at this point. So I'm like, oh, I just really have to buck up and tell the owners that I have lost their chickens, you know? And so I give them a call and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose the listing. I'm so upset because these people are so amazing. And I'm like, I am almost in tears. I am so sorry that I literally have lost 4 of your chickens during my open homes. And, you know, we started with 9 and I just went on this huge tangent and I almost am crying. And so my gracious client said, honey, it's okay. Even the bobcats need to eat. Just to let you know, we started out with 30.
Oh my God.
That's it. There was a bobcat for sure, but there were large hawks that were coming down, grabbing the chicken and pulling them over the fence to, you know, the wilderness area.
Flying away with the chickens.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
It was really, really, really wild. And each of them were named. And I felt really, really bad.